Okay, let's get started. I'm Claudio Cherubino. I work on Google Developer Relations in London. I'm going to talk about the Google Apps Marketplace and how to, well, integrate your app and take it into the marketplace and sell it. This is roughly the agenda. I'm going to talk briefly about the opportunities, how the business opportunity, why you should be interested in doing it. And then I'm going to show you some code on how to take your existing application and integrate it into Google Apps Marketplace. At the end, I will talk about the future, and we will also have guest speaker, David Podhola from Springs. Springs is one of our Google Apps Marketplace partners, local partners. He will talk about his experience. So first of all, you probably know about Google Apps. It's all about messaging and collaboration. We have an email solution, Gmail. We have Calendar. We have Google Talk. We have Documents. It's a suite of software application you can use, many people use. But you know, that is not what all the customers want. As we have a lot of customers, we have more than 3 million businesses, and that means over 30 million active users. And mostly we have 3,000 new business signing up every single day. That chart you can see on the slide shows you how the number of customers grew in the last 2 years. And you can also notice some of the well-known brands that they are our customers. I don't know, you may probably know Motorola, Jaguar, Land Rover, Genentech. They're quite big. So they started using our solutions, but you know, all customers may be interested in something more. And we do not provide all these solutions because we do not have the expertise to provide you with specific tools for your country or specific tools for accounting, productivity, customer management. There are many other companies doing that. They're doing so well, and we want them to be able to integrate their solutions with Google Apps. And that's why we launched the marketplace in March this year. This is a screenshot of the Google Apps Marketplace as it looks now. You have a list of applications. You have categories, so you can go and find the applications you may need. We have ratings on the application, so each customer may leave some comments and ratings on it. And we also have some marketing and promotion tools, like we have, I don't know if you can see it, but we have featured apps. So if the app is going well or if there's anything special we want to promote, we can put in there, and well, it's probably highly likely to be noticed by customers. When we launched in March, we had about 50 partners. Now we have more than 200, and these are the logos of those who launched with us. There are small companies, big companies. There are companies that produce a single product, many products. So it's a very active environment of companies there working with us. And we have many, many more, but you know, 200 logos do not fit there. Okay, this is what you have to do when you want to integrate your application and sell it into the marketplace. 3 simple steps. The first one is probably the easiest one, because you have to build your app. You're developers, so you probably already have an application. And we do not constrain you in using any specific Google technology to build your application. We have great tools. We have platforms. We have, I don't know, Google App Engine, for instance, but we do not ask you to use Google App Engine. You may use any technology you want. You can host it on our solutions, other solutions, competitors. You are, well, free to do wherever you want to build your app. Then there's a single mandatory step to integrate your app into Google Apps Marketplace, and that step is to add single sign-on using OpenID. That is the only thing you have to do to integrate your apps into the marketplace. But just because the app is integrated into the marketplace, that doesn't mean that the app is going to give the users a better experience or useful features. You may want to do more, and this is done by using the other integration points I will show you about. And I mean, you can integrate your app with the Calendar API, Contacts API, Gmail, all the APIs we expose. And another opportunity you may have is to access to Gmail, the contextual gadgets. After you're done building your application and integrating it into the marketplace, you can start selling it to these 3 million businesses and 30 million users. When you start selling an application for the first time, we ask you a one-time fee of $100. There is also 20% revenue share. So when you sell your application, you take the 80%, we get the 20%. But this is not in place yet. This is going to be in place when we launch the billing API. I will talk about it at the end of this talk. Let me make it more clear using a sample, a real live sample. I'm going to show you an application we created. It's a sample app we call the SaaSy Voice. It's basically a voicemail application. So we use it to store all the calls we get to our users. And you have a web page, you can click on the voicemails, listen to them, or you can also integrate some other features like you can see the contacts of your users and so on. I will show you it live. And for the sake of the demo, I will pretend to be a law firm company, a smart law firm. They are so smart that they decided to buy this application from the Google Apps marketplace. So the features of SaaSy Voice. As I told you before, you probably already have an application. Let's see how the applications are usually when you build them without Google Apps Marketplace. First of all, you need to provide the user with a sign-up form. That's quite common. You ask them to fill it with their email address, password, domain name, company name, and some other information you may need. Then, after they fill it, you send them automatic email, asking them to click on a link to confirm they own their email. And that links takes them to a new page you built where they have to set their password and not the temporary one. That's quite common. And only after you've done it, you will get access to your voicemails. That is quite common. This is what the applications usually do. But this can be done in a better way for the users. And to do it this better way, you can use single sign-on. We are going to integrate the app using single sign-on and OpenID. OpenID is a standard technology for authentication. It basically allows you to be logged into your mail, for instance, or calendar. And then when you're logged into one of these applications, you're also logged into the external applications. So you install the application from the marketplace. My application, SaaSy Voice, will appear in that navigation link on top of the Gmail. When you click on it, since you are logged into Gmail, then you will also be logged into the application. And that means the users will not have to create a new user account, create a new password, which is usually the same password they use for their private email, and change the password every 6 months and so on. And you don't have to store this kind of information. And then we are also going to integrate SaaSy Voice with some of these APIs, which are all provided by Google. And I'm going to show how to use the provisioning API, which is the domain users management API. I'm also going to talk about the contacts API and spreadsheet API. But You can see there are many more. Okay, let me show it. So I'm a smart law firm, the smart company that wants to buy this app from the marketplace. This is a listing page in the marketplace. I found this listing. I can read the description of the application, and this is exactly what I need for my users in my domain. I can read some information about the vendor and some specifications about the data access requirements. More on this later. I think it's fine. There's a price of $5 per user per month. That's fine. So I click Add it now. I need to specify my Google Apps domain. That's smartlawfirm.com and go. So only administrators can install applications in the domain. So I have to sign as one of the domain administrators for Smart Law Firm. That user is called Steve. I'm not going to tell you the password. And yeah, that's it. So I'm installing the app. There's a wizard. It's made of 4 steps. The first one is to agree to terms of service. Each developer can write his own terms of service. As a user, I have to read them and agree to them. In this case, you probably cannot read, but well, I agree that I will love this application. That's fine. Sounds good. I can do it. So continue. Second step. Let's see if I can make it bigger. It's probably better. Okay. So the next step is to grant data access. We are going to use a technology called OAuth for authorization. And with this technology, the administrator can grant data access to the application for all users in the domain. This application tells me that it needs to access the list of users, fine, to export a call log, so to use the docs API, and to display the names of people we called. So, and this is done by using the context API. That's fine. I can not, well, trust them. I do. I know the developers, so I can trust them. And second step is done. Then there's a third step, which is optional. Some application may require some external configuration. SaaSy Voice requires you to set up something physical on your phone configuration, on your domain. So you probably want to configure the phones or set up the extensions. So we added this link to external configuration. I click on this configure application link, and I'm brought to an external page, which is written by the SaaSy Voice developers. As you can see, even if it's small, so there's the first interesting thing is that I am already logged in as the Smart Law Firm administrator. But I'm not on the Smart Law Firm domain anymore. This is done by using OpenID and single sign-on. So I don't need any password, any extra password to access this page. Then I can also notice that I have here the domain name, it's already filled, and the administrator email, that's already filled. So I only need to add my company name, Smart Law Firm, and my name on card, and the credit card number. That is it. It's the true one. That's it. The external configuration is done, and there's also another interesting point, that is this table. This table lists all the users in the domain. If you think about the first version of the application, as I showed you before, when you install the application, then you have to fill manually the list of users. So I don't know, I have 15, 20 users. I would have had to fill first name, last name, and username for each of them. I don't need to do that because I'm integrating my app with the provisioning API. So when I came to this page, I made a call to the provisioning API. I asked the domain to, well, give me the list of users for that domain, and I filled this table. So quite easy. I saved a bunch of minutes. That's it. I set up voicemail. I'm brought back to the wizard, installation wizard, and I only have to decide whether I want to enable the application now or enable it later. I'm going to enable it now. That's it. It's active, licensed, and enabled. There's also some other information in your domain. You can revoke that access at any time you want, or you can check the links or additional setup and configuration. That's it. Let me go back to the slides. And I'll try to explain what I've done and the technologies I used to do this. So first step was single sign-on. Single sign-on is quite complicated, or at least may sound quite complicated. And then, I'm not going to, well, explain anything about it, but I would just say that it may be complicated, but you don't really need to care about it, as there are many libraries in many languages that will do all the hard work for you. I'm just pulled something for Java, .NET, PHP, Ruby, and some other languages. I'm going to show you some code in PHP. And the library I'm going to use is called PHP OpenID, and its extension called PHP Apps Discovery, which extends the PHP OpenID library to support the Google Apps Discovery mechanism. Quite easy. 3 steps to do single sign-on. This is what you will have to do in your application to integrate into the marketplace. But it's quite easy if you use the right libraries. The first step is to initialize the library. So I need some storage to store the associations. I'm going to use memcache, but it doesn't really matter. I'm going to instantiate a consumer. Oh, sorry. Here, trying to highlight. I don't know if you can read it. I just instantiate a consumer, and then I say to the library that I want to enable the discovery, the Google Apps Discovery on the domain. That's it. The first step is very easy. Just, well, you actually can copy and paste it. Then I need to make a request. To make a request, there is a single line of code. It's this one. You get the consumer, the one we got from the previous page, and just call begin on the domain. We know the domain is the domain the users come from, so we already have this value. When you are logged in using single sign-on, what you get back is a unique identifier. That's a number. Doesn't mean anything, but it's stable. The problem is that you usually don't want to use that number to identify your users, but you want their names or email addresses. There is an extension of OpenID called Attribute Exchange, AX, that you can use to ask for this extra information. In my application, I wanted to ask for email address, sorry again, and first name. So I use OpenID Attribute Exchange to ask for this extra information, and I add the extension to my request. And then I only have to render a JavaScript form to post the request. When you send the request, then the server side will process it. And that is done by using another single line of code, complete, and you get response status, which hopefully is going to be success. If it is, you can extract the pieces of information. As I said, the first one is the unique identifier, and then we also get the email and first name. Now we have a unique identifier, an email, and a first name. We can use those pieces of information to map the users to IDB or create a user in our application or log the access or any kind of activity you may need. That's it. This is single sign-on in 3 easy steps. The last step you have to perform to submit your application to the marketplace is to write a manifest file. A manifest file is an XML file that describes the application. I have to specify the name and 3 links, actually. The first one is the setup page, which is the page you are brought through when I clicked on the external configuration. I don't know if you can see. I hope the answer is yes. We have a simple template mechanism here. So this is a placeholder for domain name. This is going to be replaced by your domain name, and that allows you to have it in your code anywhere. Then I have a second link, which is the login page. It's the link that is going to be put into the navigation link. You remember on top of Gmail or Calendar, you have a link there, and this is the link you're going to use for your customers. And then the realm. The OpenID realm is used by OpenID to certify that the administrator has approved that access for this domain. So if requests are coming for this domain, then you don't need to ask the users to approve their access because the administrator has already done it. Quickly, what we learned about the user when they log in, we get a unique identifier, we get an email, first name, last name, you can ask for other information, but you can still use email to, I don't know, confirm, send an email, confirmation email, or to whitelist trusted providers if you want. I also showed you a second integration point. I showed you that I was able to fetch users on the domain. That is done by using the provisioning API and OAuth for authorization. When you want to use OAuth, you have to specify the scopes. In my application, when you saw it in the second step of the installation process, I had to grant that access. This is done because I added these 3 scopes in my application manifest saying that I want to access the user feed, the context feed, and the docs feed. Using the provisioning API is quite easy. You have to initialize the library, which is initialize OAuth, and this is mostly boilerplate code. You only have to specify your consumer key and consumer secret. Consumer key and consumer secret, I can say they are username and password for your application. So you never use username and password for the administrator, or you never use any credentials for any user. You just use a pair of consumer key and secret that you can revoke at any time, and you're using them here to create an auth client. The rest of the code is just boilerplate code provided by the Zend auth library. And this is probably a little bit more interesting. You take the auth client, create a GData Google Apps client, and can use it to query the users for the domain. That's very easy. It's provided by the Zend PHP library that we built together with Zend for GData. So we just perform a query for all the users in the current user domain. And then you get a feed of users. A feed of users is, you can iterate this feed and get the users. So for each of them, we got login, which is the username, and then first name, and whether the user is an administrator or not. That's it. Let me go back to the demo, which is a little bit more live. So I'm here back to the Smart Law Firm control panel. Let's suppose I'm one of the users. I'm checking my emails. Okay, well, I got, wow, a lot of emails. Then, as I said, I have mail, calendar, documents, but I also have SaaSy voice link on top of my navigation link. Together with other application I already installed there, some other test application, real application. So I click on SaaSy voice, a new tab opens, and I'm brought to SaaSy voice. I'm logged in, I'm Steve, and I also got an email, voicemail. Wow.
Hey Steve, this is Larry. Just wanted to follow up about my most recent case against that hospital.
Well,
let me know how it's going. Thanks. Bye.
Well, they may probably be interested in knowing that this is made using the Twilio API. It's a very good API for, well, this kind of phone application. But by the way, I got a voicemail from this number. And there's something more interesting. The application looked for this number in my address book and found that this is one of my customers called Litigious Larry. And so the application added here Larry's email or mobile phone or work phone. This is done by using the context API. So the application is checking my address book and extracting some information from my address book. There's another interesting integration point I can show you in the call log. So we have a log of all the calls you get in the domain. It's quite long. We get a lot of calls. You know, we are a good law firm, so many people call us. And yeah, this works. It's a call log. It's not the best one, but you can read it. But you may probably be interested in something which is more easy to scan or check, and that is a spreadsheet. You know, with a spreadsheet you can sort, or you can try to group together. You can do charts, whatever you want. So we built another integration with the spreadsheet API. And I had a link I clicked on a link, export call log, and I'm brought to a spreadsheet with all the calls, numbers, time, and recipient. This is very easy. I will show you how it's done. So I have to show you how to fetch contacts in the Sport Docs. Just a sample of what you can do. Fetching contacts is quite similar to what we've done with the provisioning API. So you need an auth client, and then you send the query to the contacts client. The only important difference is that you have to set a new query parameter, which is called XAuth requester ID. That basically means I want to access the contacts for a specific user. You know, the address book is related to each user. Each user has his own address book. So I am acting as the administrator for the domain, but I want to access the email of one of my users. This is done by specifying this extra parameter. And the value of this parameter is going to be the current user email. Then I query the contacts API, I get the feed, and I can extract the data iterating the feed. It's quite similar to the provisioning API. What we've done with the spreadsheet is a bit different. You know, there's a spreadsheet API you can use. It allows you to access the cells, the rows of the spreadsheet, so you can read the log and put the values in the cells. That can be done, but we found it much easier to use a different approach. We decided to take the call log, write it into a CSV file that is very, very easy, and we wrote this write call log function that I will not show you. And then we are going to upload the CSV file into the docs, as Google Docs recognize that this is a spreadsheet file when you send the CSV, and it automatically converts the file to a spreadsheet. That's quite easy. So you take the, you use the XAuth requester ID as for the context. So, you know, documents are belong to a user, and then we give the document a date with current date, just to give it a good name. And then we use the upload file method, saying that we want to upload this call log file. It's called SaaSy voice call log for today. And we say that this is going to be a CSV file. That's it, very easy. And when you do that, you get back document entry. And this document entry has a series of links you can use. One of them is the one you need to use to open a new tab. And that's it. So it was quite easy. You know, I think I wrote less than 100 lines of code, but I've done a lot. The first thing I've done is single sign-on using OpenID. The second thing is that I made the setup much, much quicker by using OpenID and using the provisioning API to fetch the users. Then I showed you how to integrate user data with the contacts API in order to get the phone numbers for the customers. And eventually I showed you how to upload a spreadsheet with the Docs API. Okay, this is what we have now. Well, I'll just give you a sneak peek into the future, which is, well, the future is the billing API. I told you that we take the 20% revenue share. This is not exactly true, because we do not take any money from you but the $100 one-time fee. We don't take any 20% from your revenue before we launch the billing API. So right now, if you want to sell something on the marketplace, you have to provide your customers with a way to pay you. That's it. We do not provide anything for it. But we are going to launch this billing API by the end of the year in the US, and then we'll gradually move to the other countries, as we did for the Android market. You may probably know, we started from the US, and then we had some other countries in Europe and the rest of the world, and then we are expanding the number of countries. When we launch the billing API, you have 90 days to integrate this billing API into your app, and that is going to be the only way for you to accept payment. After that, we will get the 20% revenue share from you. I can show, I don't have a live demo for it. I can show you a 50 seconds demo, what the user experience is going to be. So hopefully you can see. Oh, wait, I have it. Here is better. So the users went to the marketplace listing and is installing the application exactly as I did. Then they're brought to a page, the SaaSy voice designed, where they can choose whether they want to buy the standard version of SaaSy voice or the premium version of SaaSy voice. That is up to you. You may have one version of your application, you may have more, you may charge for one and not for the other, you may have a freemium solution. That's completely up to you. We will provide you for API to move money. That's it. So in this case, we are going to buy the premium version of the application. That's $8 a month, and we're going to buy 3 licenses. That's also up to you. You can have domain license, you can have user license. That depends on your business model. When you're done, there's this recap page, and this says that I'm going to pay $5 for the setup fee, and then $24. You know, it was $8 for 3 users, and so total is $29. There's a big blue checkout button. You use checkout for your payments, and you agree you're going to pay $29 for this application. Then you're brought to the checkout page where you have to fill your credit card information if you need, or you may already have them stored into the system. By the way, the order is going to be processed, and after it's processed, you're going to be brought back to the confirmation. Network is slow, even in the videos. Should cut it. So, okay, then that's it. We're back to where we were. So we added SaaSy voice, and now it's active, licensed, and enabled again. And I'm also showing you that you can, well, we bought 3 licenses. And from this page, you can also decide which users are going to get access and which users are not going to get access. So I'm picking 3 users from my user list. Okay, that's it for the billing API. Let's go back to the slides. Yeah. So I just added some resources to the slides. You don't probably need them. And well, I have a glossary and I have some links. You may probably need the links, hopefully. So the first link is the Google Apps Marketplace, the homepage I showed you before. Then we have some technical docs and some business docs you can read. We have a Google Apps developer blog, and we have a Twitter account you may be interested in following. Then there's a glossary, but I think it's more interesting to have David talk about Spring's experience in integrating their application in Google Apps. So please, David Podhola from Springs.
Oh, thanks. Yes, it was great. Okay, good afternoon. Thank you for joining us even that late. And I have a single first question. Who does not speak Czech here? Or do you all speak? You don't speak Czech. Okay, so then I will. Oh, you don't. Okay. Huh? Sorry? No. So then I will go in English. Okay, no problems. But if you have a question, just please raise your hand or something, and you can ask in Czech as well. Okay, no problem with that. So yeah, we are talking about Spring CRM for Google Apps. So let me quickly tell you what I would like to present to you. And so that's how to bring your existing application to Google Apps Marketplace. What are the benefits for the customers, and what are the benefits for you when you do this? Okay. So in this example, well, that's not example. We launched Spring CRM for Google Apps actually, I think, 2 weeks ago, and we even got some customers still yet. So I think, yes, we can show on this example how it really works and how you can get new customers there. Let me start first with what's Spring CRM. That's some small and easy to use CRM system, and it has been developed since 2001 on let's say Microsoft.NET technology. Okay, so that's, I wouldn't call that vintage or legacy, but that's just that. Okay, so we are fine with that, but of course we were thinking about the ways how to expand the reach of this product. So that's why we were interested in Google Apps Marketplace actually. So let me first tell you what we did and how we did this with a program written in ASP.NET till 2001. We actually went through all the steps that Claudio showed us before. So we implemented single sign-on, we implemented two-way calendar synchronization, we implemented the context export and importing of Gmail mails to the CRM, and of course the marketplace integration. For the points 2, 3, 4, for the synchronization or export and imports, what we actually used was the GData libraries from Google for Microsoft.NET. I've tried to make a screenshot from my Visual Studio here, but you probably can't see that. But trust me, there are libraries that you can actually use. If you have your own Microsoft.NET application and want to integrate with Google Apps. To do the marketplace integration and single sign-on, those were just a few pages actually written in ASP.NET that we implemented and put somewhere on our website. Okay. So let me go quickly with you through the things that you already seen, just to show you how we did it actually. So we implemented the Google Marketplace listing, and you are able to use the Edit Now button here to actually add the application to your domain. That's great, I think. That's really like shopping. I mean, the shopping experience. The potential customers go through the apps marketplace looking for something, then he reaches your listing, and with a single click just adds yours application to his domain. That's that easy. So you go through the installation process. This all is handled by Google, right? And then at this point, it's where you have requested that blah 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 is added to your domain. At this point, the marketplace is actually communicating with you. Okay, so it's using the URLs you saw in the listing, and is telling you that this domain is wants to add your application to the users. So what we did at this point is actually that we are creating the instance of Spring CRM with the users that we got from the domain, and then when this is done, we simply redirect the administrator to this page when he sees the result of what he done, and he can then add the application to the menu that you saw, right? So that the users simply go through Gmail, Docs, and things like that, and then the application is also added there. Yes, so that's the dashboard. Sorry that you probably can't see that, but in the dashboard where you have all the emails, calendar, Docs, and things like that, the new anchor is here, so you can simply click on that and the application will open, which is good because the user don't have to bookmark it or something. It is just accessible here on the dashboard. And yeah, if you click it, you get to our getting started page without any needs to log in, right? Because that's where the single sign-on is implemented. So the user is, because he is authenticated to Google, then his identity is transferred to the application. That was actually a little bit tougher than we thought, this part. Because since we built it on the other technology, we were relying on the user management done in Active Directory. And we haven't implemented any, excuse me, any user administration, actually. So that's what we needed to do, okay? But that was not that difficult. We did all the integrations with a team of, let's say, 3 people in 3 weeks. So that's it. So you get there, you can immediately start using that. And what we have done, well, those screenshots are pretty from beta or something, that's looking different now. But what you can do there is that you can set up the authentication, and then you can really run the synchronization using the tools that we implemented. So first, you have to confirm that the third-party service is requesting permissions, right? Yes, requesting. Then, if you confirm that, you can simply go through the synchronization. What I'm showing here is really the screenshots of the empty calendar, then the empty Google Apps calendar, and then if you create the event in Google Apps calendar somewhere, it's then transferred to the other calendar, which is here, okay, here. Again, sorry for the screenshots, but that's the way it works. So it's simply two-way synchronization, and something similar we did for the list of contact persons as well. So if you have your list of contact persons in Spring CRM, you can simply export them to Gmail contacts. That's one way only for some reasons. And that's it. I will not show the Gmail integration. That's totally the same. Let me stay at this point a little bit. What do we think are the benefits for the customers, or why we did it? Okay, so we think that adding the application to Google Apps Marketplace allows us to reach more customers. I mean, customers that are Google customers and that need something to be added to their Google Apps, right? That's the point. And then what's great with the marketplace is that the shopping is really easy, as I showed you. You just enter your domain, click add, and it's added. That's all, okay? That's, yeah, the second point, no more passwords. That's also, I think, very important, as all user administration is done in Google Apps. So the administrator of Google Apps domain can add or remove users, and that's all. He doesn't need to interact with the other application unless some users don't need access to the application. But if it's that simple as we usually do that, they all have the access, so they don't need to remember any more passwords, right? You just tell them, okay, we have some new link here. Click on that. You are in the application, and it's all integrated. Which is the third thing, is that the integration is, well, it's of course simple to develop, but if the customers are already using Google Apps, then they are used to use, for example, a Google Calendar or Google Contacts, right? And if you add something, they are expecting that all those things, I mean, those things are integrated. So if they create an event in Google Calendar, they are expecting that the event will be transferred to the other calendar, okay? So that's why you probably should consider developing something like some integration like this, okay? On the other hand, what was the benefits for us? Well, let's say, first of all, we have also a calendar there, right? We have calendar, OCRM as a calendar. But, of course, we do not have those great functions like sharing calendars or adding other people to inviting them to meetings, right? But we never did that because we are trying to make it simple. But we will probably never have to do that, since we are integrated to the calendar in Google Apps. So the users will simply do this part there, and then since it's all integrated, it will transfer to the other's calendar as well. So you probably don't need to code all of that again. If there's something you can reuse from Google Apps, then you probably can simply reuse, and there is no need for you to do that again. Then the other thing was actually the Android platform, because the Google Apps are integrated with the Android platform, so you can have your contacts with you on the phone, you have your calendar with you on the phone. So actually this integration allows us to simply allow the users to have Android phones, use the CRM, and have all the data with them on their phones. Right? So we didn't actually develop a specialized client for that. We just relying on that integration. Okay? And the last thing was that we simply didn't have to do anything with the user registrations and things like the administration of the let's say prospects, and then the user that they've added, because it's all done there. I mean, in the Google Apps platform you showed us. Great. So that was, I think, the main benefits for us. I was trying to stay with 3 bullets, so we are quick because we are already late, I think. Okay, so that's all. If you have any questions, please ask now or then at a break.
Yeah, thanks, David. Well, I'll just show a different slide. Right. Just this one, just a second.
Okay.
If you have time, please fill the feedback form, and now you're open to questions.
Okay. Well, in the States we have paying customers, and then we have free customers. Okay, I mean customers are not paying. So the numbers are like we had, let's say, hundreds to thousands customers before, and now we have the number of customers that went through the Google Apps is not that high actually, but on the other hand, they are paying customers. So that makes sense. So it seems that the people that are actually going through Google Apps Marketplace are people that are thinking about adding some added value to their Google Apps. So they are searching for something they can buy and use.
You know,
so
Yeah, we found that generally Google Apps customers are paying customers. You know, they're businesses, so they want to buy applications. They go there, they have budgets, and they want to buy something to fix their problems. It's a bit different in comparison with the Android market, for instance. There are users that just want to try applications or games or free applications of any kind, but Google Apps customers, they actually want to buy. That's what takes them to the marketplace. You mean for the marketplace page? Yeah. I guess the answer is not at the moment. I don't know if there are plans for having a localized version of the marketplace, but you know, you can write your listing. So you can write your listing in the language of your preference. So if you want to target a specific country or a specific language, you may describe the application in Czech, and it will display in Czech. So users will find it in Czech. Just the sections of the page are going to be in English.
You can have the add to domain button on your page. So you can write a page in Czech and then use this part as well. So,
are there other questions? Well, thanks then. Please go to the wrap-up session in the main room. Thank you.